Hello there. My name is Christopher Caldwell. I'm a student studying computer science software engineering at California State University, Monterey Bay. For our service learning course, I volunteered for about 37 hours at a nonprofit called Project 99. Project 99 was founded to help educate people about the finality of suicide and the lasting devastation it has on the families and communities of those who choose death by suicide. While the organization gives presentations to primarily middle and high school age students, the scope of their mission to educate about suicide is generally broad in scope. In addition to giving talks at schools, Project 99 also speaks to fire departments and law enforcement personnel, since they both have a high likelihood of encountering people in emotional crisis. The organization's founder lost his son, Diego Villarreal, to suicide in 2015. Diego was described to me as a kind and caring person with a passion for football. In fact, the organization's name, Project 99, contains Diego's jersey number. Now, Diego's dad, Ed, and his one-on-one tutor of 11 years, Michelle McCarthy, along with other speakers, visit schools to speak to students about suicide. During my service to Project 99, I was invited to attend a day of these presentations at Murrieta Valley High School. That day, I heard members of Project 99 relate their very personal experiences with suicide, as well as offering a message of hope and support for the students hearing the presentation. In addition to giving talks at the schools, Project 99 honors Diego's memory and raises money and awareness by organizing an annual 5K race around Diego's birthday of December 9th. My service learning with Project 99 began with several face-to-face meetings with the organization's president and co-founder, Michelle McCarthy, at her home in Murrieta. Along with her husband, they outlined a list of technical improvements that I could assist Project 99 with, all of which ultimately involved working on the organization's pre-existing project99.org website. My list of work items originally included fixing a sign-up problem with the 5K race, where information was being lost, creating an email subscriber newsletter sign-up, creating a podcasting workflow, and implementing a volunteer/position tracking system. Later, that list grew to include creating an under construction page for their blog, adding a donate extra drop-down menu item during the 5K sign-up process, adding a liability waiver at the 5K sign-up, and creating a password-protected area to host Project 99 educational materials. I was able to complete all of the tasks I mentioned during my service period, except for the podcasting and volunteer tracking systems, which I did not attempt. The project99.org website is hosted on Squarespace. I had no prior experience using Squarespace, but I was able to find my way around their interfaces to complete work items fairly easily. Squarespace has built-in functionality to add passwords to any page and a built-in email subscriber management system, which greatly simplified those work items. The most challenging task I attempted involved adding a donate extra drop-down control onto the racer's information intake forms. Michelle wanted it to be easy for racers signing up for the 5K to select an amount to donate while registering, in addition to the base race fee. Fortunately, Squarespace exposes a field for each page, allowing developers like me to inject code directly into the head section of the web page. Figuring out what code to inject was the tricky part. Essentially, I wanted to either change the amount of money a user signing up would pay at checkout if they elected to donate, or I wanted to add a separate donation item to the user's shopping cart. In order to manipulate the shopping cart, I had to dig deep into Squarespace's minified JavaScript frameworks. I learned that Squarespace makes heavy use of yet another JavaScript framework called UI. I set some breakpoints in Google Chrome to see what functions were getting called when I added items to the cart. After hours of detective work, finding the UI function to call, and fiddling with what UI parameters I could pass without causing an error, I was able to get it working. I determined that it would be possible to add a separate donation item to the user's shopping cart by calling an Add Item to Cart function directly if the user selects to donate extra. Although I spent a sizable amount of time getting the drop-down donation list working, I feel it was time well spent. The ease of donating extra at registration should bring Project 99 increased revenue. I was also compelled to succeed where their previous web designer had not, because their previous developer said the donation drop-down functionality was not possible. The day that I went to MVHS stands out in my mind as an experience where I not only learned about Project 99's mission, but also something about myself. Throughout the day, I sat in the school's auditorium and watched groups within each of the 4 grade levels of high school students file in and listen to Ed and Michelle's presentation. With each presentation, Ed conveyed to students as a father and a police officer how stunned he was to see his beloved son die in his arms. Michelle communicated to students the anger and confusion she felt upon learning about Diego's choice, the person she had tutored closely for 11 years. During the presentations, Ed mentioned that the loss of Diego also affected his relationships with family and friends, and that to his astonishment, they became more distant and came around less often. Ed said he learned that people become more distant because they don't have the emotional intelligence to know how to deal with someone who's experienced such deep personal loss. Between presentations, I spoke with Ed, Michelle, and the others working with Project 99 that day, and I remember feeling like I didn't know what to say to Ed either. The conversations were perfectly normal. We talked about the website, about the students' reception to the talks, about low-carb diets and video games. I thanked Ed for what he was doing and expressed my support for Project 99's cause. But almost at a subconscious level, I understood that I can't really relate to the pain in Ed's heart, and I wouldn't even know how to try without coming off as disingenuous. And I wondered, do I lack the capacity to really experience the pain of others enough to confidently empathize with them? Do I lack emotional intelligence too? Can anyone that hasn't experienced such loss ever hope to empathize with those who have? I spent that evening trying to digest the feelings Project 99's presentations left me with. I think, if nothing else, being there that day taught me that it's important to be extra kind to people, because we don't know what a person has been through, or what a person is going through. In the end, I am grateful to have had the opportunity to serve Project 99. Working with its members, particularly Michelle, was a great experience that I would recommend to other students doing my program in Southern California. Michelle's expectations for my service felt very reasonable, and I felt there was excellent communication. In terms of what I learned technically, I gained some practice with stepping through some fairly complex and deep JavaScript code, and I got some experience using Squarespace's website creation service. Apart from that, I was exercising the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery skills I had already learned. Moreover, I feel the greatest takeaway was through my interpersonal interactions with the members of Project 99. Hearing their stories was thought-provoking. Seeing them turn tragedy into opportunity was inspiring. And communicating with my contact at Project 99 to discover and complete work items was rewarding. I'd like to thank Dr. Tao and Cassandra Humphrey at CSUMB, and Michelle McCarthy and Ed Villarreal at Project 99 for facilitating my service learning experience. Thank you.